Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's the former Auburn kicker, Daniel Carlson, to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now Dobbins again on second down, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Yannick Ngakoue, just as hard to say his name as he is to block. He's there in on the stop that time. 13 yards remaining on second down. Now a toss left side for Dobbins. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Steps away to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He's just got to be thinking, I hope that's not a harbinger of things to come. Very first pass of the afternoon picked.
And where do you go from here? Because when you start that way, do you allow that to seep into you and stay with you the rest of the game? Or do you find a way out of it? We're going to find out.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
Next the score, Raiders 7, Ravens nothing. Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here's 2nd and 10. Jackson now steps away. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
Mike 42, Mike 42, check, Mike 42. Keep it up, defense, keep it up, guys.
Again, Jackson on the move to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Brings up 3rd down.
Jackson will keep it, and he will have a first down here at about the 40.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. And that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates. They're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and a big sack at that. This remains a 1-point game. So what do you think the mindset was there? You can tie it with a PAT here first half. Why go for the lead right now?
The old school mindset says if you have a better team, you just go ahead and continue to try and dominate. There's also a school of thought, if you don't think you're quite as good, you have to try and take advantage of opportunities. And finally, I just think this is analytics coming into the game. Someone saying the more you go for 2, the better your chances are of actually getting them.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First down, Las Vegas.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Deshaun Elliott up to make the play defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 29-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. He'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. Now this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On 1st down, Carr. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Jones has it. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. Touchdown.
Good job.
A 24-yard touchdown. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson rolling to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give them a gain of 38. So that about the shortest pass a quarterback can make, but it winds up going for a bundle.
Yeah, let's face it, in the stats, it sure looks like a heck of a throw, doesn't it? It's almost like in baseball when you get that little Texas leaguer that turns into a double.
And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there for the Raiders. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Touchdown, Raiders. It's complete. Darren Waller. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's 2nd and a yard. On the handoff, Edwards. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, Dobbins. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Buying time to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick.
And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. One more time with Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. They'll run with Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Duvernay now going to bring it out.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Out to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Dancing to his left. And that is intercepted on the